In 2019, I achieved a feat that I had always dreamed of and finally got the chance to do.
Thank you, Jesus!
No kidding!
Holy smokes!
September 28th, 2019, in my home state of Kansas, I shot my biggest buck to date, 201 2/8 inches. Shooting a 200-inch buck with a bow is the pinnacle of deer hunting. Most people will never have the chance to see a 200-inch deer in the wild, let alone shoot one. It's a bittersweet feeling. You spend years and years chasing down big bucks in pursuit of that magical number. When it finally happens, you just take it all in and enjoy the moment. I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. And that story will be told in the future. But what happens after you shoot a 200-inch buck? You find yourself asking, where do we go from here? In the years since then, a lot has changed. I got married, we became grandparents, and my brother and I started a tree stand company. All thanks to our Creator, who has truly blessed me. One thing that stayed the same, though, was my love for hunting in the outdoors. In 2021, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was presented that I didn't think was possible. I shot an elk on my family's property in Kansas. It will be the number 4 in the archery record book for Kansas. It was the first elk our family has seen on the property since we settled on it in the late 1800s. That fall was full of firsts for me. We started a hunting company from the ground up. I shot an elk out of our prototype tree stand. Working in the hunting industry is something that I have dreamt of and we are fortunate enough to do. What they don't tell you, though, is the pressure on your hunting time. Finding a balance between work and hunting became more challenging, but our customers come first. I did manage to sneak out a few times, though. The rut came and went, with me chasing a 190-inch ghost. It was the only buck that I went after, and I ate my tag for the first time in a while. Moved on to trade show season in spring. Trade shows can be long and grueling, but getting to meet new people, hear their success stories makes it all worth it. With the long schedule of trade shows behind us, one of our favorite times of year was upon us. The kings of spring are arguably one of my favorite species to chase. Each spring we take some time and travel to multiple states chasing longbeards, and man did we put a hurting on them in 2022. Every year, like clockwork, my mind instantly switches to deer with the onset of summer and warmer temperatures. Food plots need prepped, bows need shot, cameras need hung. This fall was going to be different, though. I had a particular deer in mind that I had years of history with. This year he was going to be 7 years old, and after seeing him on trail camera, I decided that this is the year I would go after him. The season started out like it normally did in Kansas, hot and dry. The drought that year was really bad, and the deer were on their feet coming to water. Once it finally cooled down and the leaves began to change, I knew it was time to get serious about chasing that 7-year-old buck. just shot my target buck that I've been after, and he came in just perfect right up the trail that I was hoping he would come. I've got a couple cell cams out here. I knew he was in here last night, so I set up at a northeast wind. As you can hear, there's a bunch of turkeys, but he came in right. He's probably 20 yards maybe. I think I got a good shot on him. He acted like he didn't even know he had been hit, and his legs had already started to wobble, so I'm gonna get my stuff and get out and give him time to be completely dead, and then we'll go in and look for him. So I backed out, came back to the truck, and my brother, one of my good friends, Brandon, and my wife, they're gonna come up and help me track him. I really don't think he went far shooting those Annihilator broadheads, and those things are wicked. It made quick work of my elk, so I shot the buck at 7:09, I think, and it's, well, I don't know what time, maybe almost 8, but I backed out. I'm gonna wait, and went to the where the air was, good blood, and then where he stopped and wondered what hit him there for a second. There was some good blood there, so we're gonna give him some time, and then we're gonna go in and try to find him. I often get caught up chasing inches, but hunting should be about time spent with family and friends and enjoying God's creation. Shooting a deer still gives me the same adrenaline rush, regardless if it's a doe or a big buck. On occasion, I still think back to that day and that buck. My life has changed drastically since that September day, but so has my hunting style. I think I've found the answer to the question, where do we go from here? You grow, you adapt, you change, you stay mobile, you stay elevated. My hunting style evolved, and the strategy I used to kill my 22 buck was completely different than any other buck I have killed. Growing as a hunter doesn't always mean more inches. My advice: embrace the journey with family and friends. Appreciate the time spent in the outdoors enjoying God's creation. Chase big bucks. And even more important, chase big bucks.